Hey, I'm gonna do this vlog because no matter how many times I say this, people want to write me over and over and over again about this, and they basically, I say it, it's very clear, you know. And let me just say it again. So I get into this debates about homosexual marriage, okay, which they're again, there is no reason for homosexual marriage. All right, here, let me just deal with this. There's some only reason why it's happening is because politicians are being bought. There's corruption, and the moral standard is being corrupted and lowered. So there are some obvious truths, and if you deny the obvious truths and deceive people with these obvious truths of life, then you can you can fool and get people to believe that there's a reason for homosexual marriage. Okay, obvious truth. Okay, no two homosexuals have ever created life together. You have to go through artificial means, and it still involves a man and a woman. Whether you extract the sperm out of a man and extract the egg out of a woman and put it in a test tube, fly it around the world 1,000 times, and then put them back together, it is still a man and a woman had to generate it. It takes a sperm and an egg. There is no such thing as any homosexual sharing genes with another homosexual. Two women, two eggs, you put them together, spin them around the planet, they will not create life. There is no life in homosexuality. There's not even real intercourse. It is only anal and oral sex. It is only homosexuals. There is no such thing as a homosexual person. There's not homosexual organs. There's no such thing as gay and stuff like that. That's just a nice name they added to a sexual activity, which is only an activity. There are no homosexual human beings. There's only a heterosexual and heterosexuals, male and female. There's no homosexual organs, because if you're homosexual organs, you can get together with another homosexual and make homosexuals. Does not exist. The only reason why homosexuals want marriage is for approval and money. They want to get marriage is to get rid of, or is to justify sexuality. Meaning, if a girl gets pregnant and is not married, there would be a shame and a disgrace that is on her family, or it used to be, until humans and heterosexuals have become so vile that they don't even give a darn. They don't care anymore. A woman can have 10 babies by 10 men and be a hoochie mama, and it's okay. She gets heralded for being a single parent. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that they're bad persons, but their circumstances still came from her having sex outside of a marriage. And so this is a sin, and it doesn't change. Yeah, we accept it, but it doesn't change. So the thing about it is, homosexuals are looking for the release and the acceptance of a sin. Meaning, we will never accept Tiger Woods cheating on his woman, and adulteress, and then that becomes and it's all female driven. It's all based on females. The reason why we have this great thing with homosexuals is because females feel good about about marriage, about homosexual or effeminate men. It is nothing about homosexuality that empowers a male. It only degrades the male. And so that's okay with females, because it brings them down to their place in life, and females who don't. And some women, now check this out. Some women because they've been abused through males who have not been godly, who have not been trying to please God, who have not, they feel justified, and some of them are, in the sense of that their males have been, or the man have been abusive, corrupt, and all that stuff. But that's not how it's supposed to be. So they often fight their male's rightful place in a marriage. They often fight their rightful place in a marriage. If the situation is working right, then it works right to the benefit of a female. Okay, and then they don't have to feel threatened, beat down, and their rights. A good marriage, a woman will be the happiest woman in the world and fulfilled. Now, a lot of them wind up being bitter, scornful. They get scorned and they get bitter and they hate men. And see, I don't really know what it's like to be like that, because I don't hate women. I don't hate women, but there are plenty of men who hate women. Okay? And a lot of them happen to be homosexual too. So, but it's part of that. But the truth of the matter is, I had this person that writes me, and so marriage is God, simple. God made man and woman multiply. He married them, multiply. Married woman, they become one flesh. Two homosexuals are completely incapable of creating a union of any type. They are just two single people spending time together, and they can lie and fool and cheat the whole world. And we all know that the world is deceived. They are deceived. They forget. Oh, well, yeah, okay. They'll look at the truth. It'll slap them dead in the face, like I am doing to you now. Slapping you dead in the face with the truth, and you will deny it. I don't care what happens. You can deny the truth all it wants. It will not change the truth. When I'm gone, 1,000 years from now, or 100 years from now, when I'm not walking on this planet, the truth will still be here. Even if you can't find it, it still don't change. The fact of the matter is, even if you make a Frankenstein babies and splice genes and figure out the way, they're working on it. They're working on it through science and knowledge and how to take the genes of something and mix it and with something else and make a green glowing monkey. They're working on it. Okay, they're taking the algae from something and sticking it into and crossing it into the gene. And if you want to call that a human and you want to call that a family, then that's fine. You could do that. But it's not going to change the truth. The truth is, it's not. And it's only through the tampering of science, genes, and stuff, and our own thinking that we're empowered. That's how it is. So, the truth of the matter, it will not change. The truth does not change. You cannot, no matter how much you lie about it, what politicians are corrupt, how many politicians you bought and allowed homosexual politicians, which we know that a lot of the homosexual politicians are on Capitol Hill, and in order for you to compromise to get that healthcare bill, sent through, they all of a sudden passed homosexual laws in Washington, D.C., and then the Democrats got all of them voted for this bill, and they got it one way or another corrupt, just like they did with the driver's license in New York, and they took down Spencer because of that. Because he was foolish enough to go with Hillary's plan. Corruption. It's fine. I didn't say anything about the health bill. I'm just saying the way that they manipulated things. It's fine. But it doesn't change the fact that two homosexuals, and so my point is, only heterosexuals create life. Life is about life. Life generates life. There is no life you can't even think about life or sharing your genes with your partners ever. So you can have an artificial, makeshift, Jimmy rig, whatever kind of family you want to. Now that is not to denigrate children or anything or anything, whatever. Our societal believes that, hey, we don't need food anymore. We can clone it and make better money off of it because of the politics of it. It is better to stop Americans from farming their own food and to give it to large rich corporations who have the money and the power to make the laws and to change the laws, man-made laws. But you cannot change God's laws, okay? You can clone these animals, but you cannot create these animals. You cannot create them. You didn't create. You can only work with what God made. It's scientific. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. You can rehash it, corrupt it, send it through a cipher, send it around the world 10 million times. It's not going to change the truth. Plain and simple. I don't care if you put the baby in the bottom of a cultured germ test tube and then stick it up in your next partner, and then it is still not, if you call it life after that, call it whatever the heck you want. Frankenstein, we've been working on it forever. We're gods with a small G. Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that ye are gods?" Jesus said that. If he's the Son of God, we are created from God. We're God's children. We are like the Father. We're the children. We have God tendencies, The apple don't fall too far from the tree, but that's not going to change the fact that we're small G, we're small G, But, God created man and woman to multiply. You will always need a sperm and an egg. Okay? Okay? Now, if you culture and clone a human being from a one cell, and splice genes and all that artificial and say that that's marriage, more power to you. Or whatever you want to call that. But that's not, to me, that's a form of inhumanity, so, only life, so I just want to make this, the last thing I want to say, marriage in the Bible is to cover sin. Man, become one. And so you want the honorable institution of marriage to gain the approval of men among your peers, and it will not change. It will not change. I used to be an alcoholic. I still have to suffer the consequences of my alcoholic days. There was a certain amount of damage I put on my body from that. The consequences is the same. But I have forgiveness. I'm just saying you can have the same forgiveness through Jesus Christ. Don't try to fix your homosexuality. Let him deal with it. Just give it to him. Surrender it to him. Let him work on it. Through faith and through him, he can do all things. He's perfect. We're not perfect. We're not going to change it. We're going to slip, slide, whatever. I'm not going to take another drink because I don't want to die. But, basically, because the wages of sin is death. The government can pass laws, of gambling and everything else. Don't make it right. It'll never be right. Yeah, you'll get them a lot of money and you'll be, but it'll never be right. It'll never change. I don't care what you do with your laws. It'll never change. And you could go around and say, yeah, we married. But, somebody gonna still know the truth about it, you know. Brainwashing, I don't know, whatever.